Abate. They're of New York now, northern New Jersey. There's a lot of Joe Abates in the underworld, and there always has been. But anyway, it's pronounced according to, it's spelled Abte. It's pronounced according to the family Abate. Abate. He was born on July 8, 1902. He died in 1994. He was a capo, a captain in the New Jersey fraction of the Luchese crime family, the Jersey crew, a very powerful crew in the Luchese family. In the 1920s, according to Abate, he said he worked for as an enforcer for Al Capone, a muscle guy, before moving to New Jersey or back to New Jersey. I don't know which of the two. And his criminal record is pretty long. It includes tax evasion, bootlegging, of course, criminal conspiracy. In 1953, Sam Arcadi led the Jersey crew until his U.S. citizenship was revoked because he hadn't disclosed that he had a previous arrest record in Italy when he arrived here. They just were looking for an excuse to get rid of this guy, and they did. He was arrested in 1955 on a narcotics charge, so he didn't wait to be deported. He just took off, and he died in Italy. Anthony Delasco, took over as captain, and then Benny Pizzolato took over. When Pizzolato died in 1964, Mr. Abate arrives. He's appointed captain of this organization. He was arrested for commercial arson in 1977. And then in 1979, he went into semi-retirement. But he first brought this guy, Sam Asiatora, to come in as boss of the Northern Jersey fraction. And with Asiatora was his protege, Michael Taxita. Asiatora, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, was only unofficially running things because he had not been inducted into the mafia and certainly not into the Luchese family because the books were closed for the longest time, where they wouldn't induce anybody else into the mobs. So on record, anyway, Abate's still running things. But under Assetoro, things really take off. This guy's really ambitious. They take over Newark first. They spread out in loan sharking, gambling, narcotics, money laundering, and extortion. And they eventually take over all of northern New Jersey. So in 1973, Anthony Carolla comes along. He gets released from prison. He becomes temporary boss of the Luchese family. Carolla and Assetoro go back a long, long way, and he inducts Assetoro as well as Michael Mad Dog Tassetta and his brother, Martin Tassetta, into the Luchese crime family so they could officially control everything on the books. Assetoro relocated to Miami because he became a prime target for just about everybody, the police, state police, local police, FBI. So he moved down there. He wanted to avoid prosecution on a loan sharking charge in Newark. And Michael Tassita was promoted to run the day-to-day things. Tassita's even more ambitious, and he really gets things going, and he turns it into a really profitable piece of business. Then in 1980, the Philadelphia boss, Angelo Bruno, gets killed. They shoot him in his car. And at that point, his underbosses, his guys under him, in other words, Phil Testa and Nicky Scarfo, they start fighting for control of the Philadelphia family. So Tassita sees this, and he's like, well, screw it. He moves into Philadelphia. He gets a foothold in there as part of the Jersey crew with gambling and loan sharking. So in 1987, Vic Amuso took over the Luchese family, and he sees how much money Tassita's making, and he says, I need a higher percentage out of everybody. And Tassita didn't have a problem with that, but Axaturo had a big problem with it. He just said, I'm not going to pay. One thing led to another. A war erupts, sort of a civil war. And the Tassita's side with the family. Asatura says he's not paying, and he holds out. In 1993, Asatura defected. He was losing. They were going to kill him. He became a government witness, and his testimony basically helped to convict Michael and Martin Tassetta. Abate served as a liaison between the families in northern New Jersey and New York until 1989, when he retired from mafia affairs completely. He died in 1994 as a result of natural causes. But in 1992, his daughter, Catherine, was appointed to New York City Corrections Commission. She had previously been elected to the New York State Senate. She ran a good race. She won by a lot. In 1986, Mario Cuomo appointed her to be Executive Deputy Commissioner of the State Division of Human Rights. In 1988, she's named to head the state's Crime Victims Board. Uh, when she was appointed to the Corrections Commission by Mayor Dinkins, questions started to come up about her father and his involvement with the mafia. She denied it. She said he was not in the mafia. I don't know what you people are talking about. Furthermore, this is really just bias, anti-Italian American bias. Well, her father was a well-known mob guy, but anyway, she decides to run for attorney general, and her entire campaign is derailed by questions about her father and organized crime. One of her main rivals in the nomination was Elliot Spritzer. You remember him? I don't. He wanted to become governor, and he had to resign in disgrace for his involvement with prostitutes and all sorts of weird stuff with those prostitutes. His aides, Spritzer said his aides did this, informed about her father and went out and got documents and provided them to the press and so forth. He denied it. He said, Spitzer said, it wasn't me, it was the guys that worked for me. Anyway, in 1998, Catherine said she could no longer dismiss the allegations that her father belongs to the Casey crime family. She didn't issue a blanket statement. Said for the first time, she acknowledged it, and she said, I don't want to believe them, the accusers. I don't want to believe them. They are still allegations. I can't prove or disprove them. I'll never know the truth. The allegations don't describe the father I knew. She said that as a child growing up in Margate, New Jersey, she knew anything about her father being in the mob. As far as she knew, he headed a company that made military uniforms for the government. She lost her bid for attorney general. In fairness to her, she was very progressive, very bright woman, well educated, was really good at her job and all the public posts she held. On the other hand, her father was a major mob guy. She can't really be attorney general or some of these other positions she held. It's just too dangerous. So it's too bad. It's unfortunate. She died fairly recently, 2015, I think, of cancer.